Hey, what's up? Today's video is about, I want to give a shout out to the Oath Keepers for putting together a rally on May 30th, 2011 down in Arizona for the two-time Iraqi war veteran who ended up getting killed in his own home in Arizona by the SWAT team, man. It's a tragic thing to see, man. It's sad to see it. Not just for the soldier himself, but also for his family that he left, that he has to leave behind. Also, I'm pretty sure it's gonna haunt those officers on the SWAT team, or any officer with a conscience, for the rest of their lives, pretty much, that they were responsible for the murder of an innocent man, off the grounds of serving a search warrant in relation to investigation on a drug ring and shit like that. He ended up being innocent in all those charges. He didn't have any drugs in his house and stuff. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Oath Keepers for putting that together, man. I mean, it's gonna be it's almost ironic. It's ironic that all these young men and women who sign up for the military, they're sold this good old American boy, as good as American apple pie story that when you join the armed forces, you're going to be fighting for the freedoms and liberties of the American people. But the funny thing is they send you guys overseas, halfway around the world, to prevent you from fighting for the freedoms and liberties of the American people. Because it's not a Middle Eastern country who's jeopardizing our freedom or our liberty. It's the congressmen in Congress. It's our elected officials who are subverting the system, subverting the Constitution. Passing legislation through the halls of Congress and mandating it to the people. That you have no rights anymore, like the reinstatement of the Patriot Act. These clowns play like, oh, we're so American and we love American principles and this and that. But the fact is, a lot of these dudes in office, they have a bitter disdain for the Constitution and what it stands for the individual man having rights onto himself to protect his family, to protect his home and stuff like that. So I just want to give a shout out to the Oath Keepers, man. I know you guys are making head or making leeway across the nation with your guys' message. I ran into a few police officers out here in Hawaii, and they're Oath Keepers. A couple retired military men that live in my neighborhood, they're also Oath Keepers as well. So I mean, this isn't a movement that's just sweeping the continental United States, dude. Like, you guys have crossed the Pacific into the Hawaiian Islands as well, because the people are waking up to what's really important, man, and they've been preaching security over liberty for the last 10, 15 years, and it's been a slow degradation of the rights of the people. So you guys keep it up, man. I want to give you guys some words of encouragement. I'm in Hawaii, so I couldn't be there for that rally for old boy, man. But my heart goes out to his family, to his kids. It's a sad thing to see your father getting shot in his own home. Any way you look at it, and it should be a wake-up call for all the soldiers overseas as well. Like, you guys are risking your lives over there, and when you come back home, you're put under threat from a police state, from police officers who's got this mentality that it's us versus them. And to top that off, the real heroes, or the people who sign up for the right reasons, get sent overseas to fight in unjust, unconstitutional, undeclared wars. And then when they come back, they don't even know that they're listed as a #1 threat to the United States government. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. How can our government be passing legislation to deem soldiers who are war veterans, when they come back home, as one of the #1 threats to the country? You know what I mean? Like, sure, there's post-traumatic stress and shit like that, but I mean, that's just spitting on everything you thought you were fighting for. And if you're a soldier and you see this video, man, you're in the area, dude, I want to encourage you guys to get out there, man. Support that your fellow countrymen, man. You know what I'm saying? Support his family. Go out there with Oath Keepers, man. And if you never heard of Oath Keepers, get up on it, man, because them boys got it. They got their heads screwed on straight, But for those who aren't in the military or in the police departments and stuff like that, man, it's up to us too, man. As citizens, we got to stay diligent, we got to stay aware, and we got to get out there and we got to engage the police officers. You know what I mean? We got not in any violent acts, but just engage them in conversation and see where their heads are at. You know what I'm saying? And if they have a misunderstanding what freedom and liberty is, we have to have a proper understanding so we could properly correct that misunderstanding that they have. This idea that it's, well, we are the law. We don't need to know what these laws mean. All we need to know is that when we see you doing something, we're going to get you. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work like that. They've effectively turned police officers into scared, paranoid revenue generators. It's like they're not even, they don't serve and protect the people too much, really. I mean, just looking at Adam Kokesh, the host of Adam versus the Man, this past weekend, they was silently dancing at the Jefferson Memorial, which is, I mean, Thomas Jefferson was like the champion of free speech. And turns out he was actually a very, very big advocate for dancing. He liked to bust out his fiddle and his violin just randomly to have people dance. You know what I'm saying? So, shouts out to Adam Kokesh. He's also a member of OATHKEEPERS too. He did a few events with them throughout the mainland. I've seen some videos with him on there. So, shouts out to my man over there, man. You're doing your thing, man. Good luck with this weekend's dance-a-thon. You guys are going to go out down in Washington, D.C., back to the memorial, man. You're doing the right thing. You got to stay diligent. You got to stay aware, man. And I'm telling you, dude, when you go out and you understand freedom and you go out to express that freedom, it's the only way to properly show appreciation for the soldiers who died thinking, who died under the thought that they were dying for our freedom and our liberty, you know what I mean? Despite the true reasons behind the war. Like, there were people who literally gave their lives fighting because they thought that's what they were fighting for. But, I mean, you come to find that it's all about special interests, and war is a racket. People, a lot of really evil motherfuckers make a lot of big money off of us fighting against each other because they make weapons and they sell weapons, and it's crazy, man. But the only way you can truly honor any soldier who's under the idea that he's fighting for freedom and liberty is to exercise your freedom and liberty consistently on a daily basis, not just once in a blue moon. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, if you're talking to a police officer and he tell you to shut up, you tell him, fuck you, First Amendment, homeboy, I'll talk as long as I'm not slandering nobody, I'm not making any terroristic threats, you can't tell me shit. You know what I mean? Like, they might try to tell you, oh, that's being disrespectful, you don't respect authority. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, we are the authority. You know what I mean? Government derives its just powers from the consent of the governed. You know what I mean? For that motherfucker to act in any kind of manner, your consent is required. So therefore, you are respecting the authority when you respect your freedoms and you respect your liberties, man. So shouts out to OATHKEEPERS, man. Keep it up. Adam Kokesh, good luck this weekend, man. Wish I could be there. But I'm going to be over here Dougie, you know what I'm saying? But I'll holla. Peace, man.